Hello again. I'm Ernie and I'm here with Larry Housel, bringing you another installment in our Puritas Spring Software FAQ series. This is video number 83, and today we're turning our attention to something very near and dear to our legal software hearts, Form 706.
That's right, Ernie. And this year, the IRS has made a few updates to Form 706. And while it's not what you'd consider an overhaul or anything like we saw from 709 in the year prior, there are definitely some changes that are worth knowing about.
Especially if you're trying to keep your estate filing smooth and efficient. Let's break it down for our viewers.
So, like I said, these are some small, but some of the changes are significant. The first thing we should talk about is the forms themselves. So, the same information is being collected that was collected in years prior, but they've added a couple fields. The first field they added is support for foreign addresses. So, you'll see additional fields to support different countries and things that are specific to places outside of the continental United States, or the United States. And they've also added banking information. So if you want to put in information so things can be directly deposited or withdrawn, the forms now support that.
But the bigger shift is in how the forms and schedules are delivered. Form 706 used to be a single download. You'd get all the schedules, even the ones you didn't need. You had everything.
Yeah, so you just go to the site, click on it, and it would give you one big PDF with all the schedules and the 706 forms. So that's not the case anymore. And now in 2025, each schedule is downloaded individually. I assume the IRS got tired of people sending everything back to them. Maybe some of them blank, some of them filled in, or maybe they're just really concerned about toner costs.
Yeah.
We know those can add up. That can add up pretty quick. Either way, so you're in for a bit more clicking around and digging around if you want to find the actual schedule that you need when you're filing the 706.
Now here's a twist. Schedule W. It's the IRS's new universal continuation page. Sounds simple, right?
It does sound simple, and in theory, a universal continuation page sounds great. But in practice, it's not that straightforward, is it? Because some of these schedules still have their own continuation pages, and other schedules will just direct you to, and I think there's a list, right, of the schedule, what they use and what they, whether they use W or their own page. So some of them do go straight to W, and then a couple of them go to their own continuation page, and then beyond that, then they use W.
Well, that was pretty unclear. And that's just what tax professionals like.
That's right. They like unclear gray information, right?
Otherwise, you wouldn't need us.
And that's why we're here, to solve these kinds of things. And as always, we've got your back. We've eliminated all this complexity, and we'll let our software handle it, don't we, Ernie?
Well, if you're using Puritas Spring Software Form 706, none of this new complexity affects your workflow. You enter your estate details, assets, debts, beneficiaries into simple worksheets. Actually, if you've gotten the program in the past, it's like the same as it's been for years. And on the screen, I'm going to open up a beneficiary worksheet so you can see how the beneficiary worksheet works.
Yeah, so you've got you're basically putting all the information you would need to file the 706, all the beneficiary information. Then you've got so this is the beneficiary worksheet. You've got another worksheet for all the assets and debts of the estate. And once you put all that information in, then it's just a matter of picking which schedule it goes to, correct?
Exactly.
Maybe you want to bring up a sample file.
I can do that.
Kind of demonstrate that.
Let me close the worksheet. And wait, you want to open a file. Let's open up the test file.
So the test file is basically going to fill out everything on the form.
Right. It's a huge file. It's got every field on every form filled out, and that's why it took a second or two for it actually to load in, because it is such a big file. Where do you want me to go?
We'll check out the worksheet.
Okay, beneficiary worksheet.
Sure.
Okay, there it is. Now it's all filled in.
So you can see we've got some examples in here, and we've got some send tos, and this is what I wanted to point out. So you're sending it then to the correct form.
That's right. And if you're not using Schedule E because it's not joint and survivorship property or jointly held property, you just don't check that one off.
No need to go find the form and download it off the IRS website separately. It's all included.
It's all happening right here. And one question we get, and this is maybe going into too much detail, but this amount here isn't used anywhere in the calculation except to determine whether a beneficiary is going on page 2, I believe, of Form 706, where you list every beneficiary with
Over 5,000.
over $5,000, right?
Right.
We sometimes put this in just to kick it in to make sure it's going to Form 706 properly.
So it'll automatically send it.
Right,
to that.
and now I think one thing that a user pointed out to me is that this amount, they didn't require it. They wanted a list of people in earlier years, but now that page 2 or 3 or whatever it is, that list, they want to know the value as well. So once you decide how much a particular beneficiary is getting, you're probably going to go into this amount field and put that number in manually.
So that it goes into the
Right, now we just
form
have it so
properly.
it'll trigger to go in.
When that's a good example, like it basically reinforces what we're saying, is you put all the information that you know into the worksheets, and that populates the form, and that populates the schedules.
Right, and that's really cool when it comes to things like here, Form 8971, where you're gonna fill that out in terms of all the beneficiaries, but then you're gonna have a Schedule A, one for each beneficiary. So if you have, this will fill out 5 forms at the same time just by working here in the beneficiary worksheet.
Yeah, you can't beat that. You want to go over and have a peek at the assets and debts worksheet. And again, with the little
There
bit.
it is.
Yeah. If you look over there to the right under specific information, you can see this is where you're sending these different assets depending on where you want them to show up. In the
Right.
schedule.
That's a good point, Larry, because when you're working with the beneficiary worksheet, there's a few places where you send that information. But with the financial information, there's a whole bunch of places. And so you'll see now, instead of just having 4 or 5 check boxes like you saw on the beneficiary worksheet, when I click this Send to Edit button, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's whatever.
There they all are, right? Those are exactly what we were talking about when we say that those forms are all separate downloads now. So you got to go dig them out. Not the case if you're using our software.
Right. We've got it all in there. Okay, I did want to say that about the Send to. What else do we want to say about
The only other thing I wanted to mention was just going back to Schedule W. You don't have to decide whether or not this goes on a Schedule W or on a continuation page. We've already gone through all those rules and built it right into the software, right?
Right, the program will figure it all out. Because it's not a very consistent treatment. Sometimes you have the form, then sometimes you have the form and its custom continuation page. And then sometimes you have the form, the custom continuation page, and if it goes farther than that, the Schedule W, the universal continuation page. So needlessly complicated.
Well, they like to keep us on our toes around here.
There's a reason for that, I'm
I'm
sure.
sure they were trying to be efficient when they came up with the idea. Just the execution it becomes a little difficult, I'm imagining. I think that's basically the bulk of what we wanted to go over.
Okay, well, yeah, and we already said, I'll say it one more time. If you're still downloading the IRS forms manually, you could stop doing that, because with our 706 software, every required form is built in, including special forms like 8971. There's probably a complete list of the forms, if you're that curious about it, on our website on the product information page for the 706.
Yeah, and same with the continuation pages. Our software is going to figure that out too, like you said. It's going to go to the required continuation, custom continuation with the schedule, or W, or both, either, whatever the final version of the form is going to look like. It's going to take care of that.
So the bottom line is that the IRS made it more complicated, but Puritas made it simpler.
Yeah, that's a theme that I'm sure has been going on for many years now, and will be going on for many years to come.
Before we go, a quick reminder. If you're a legal professional, accountant, or do-it-yourself type looking to level up your tax form game, check out our software offerings at www.puritas-springs.com.
That's right. On top of the 706, we've also got the gift tax 709 form, and the 1041, as well as a lot of different probate programs and trust software.
If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the Puritas Spring Software channel. We'll have more videos coming, each one designed to make your work in the law office just a bit easier.
Yeah, that's right. And the more you like it and let us know about it in the comments, the better we can make the videos. So don't forget to do that. And until next time, stay healthy, safe, and happy.
Thanks for watching. Good night, baby.